Hey everyone, taking you on another real China tour. And let's take a look at this water. I'm on a metal bridge here, which they're using for, somebody has a big farm over here, it looks like. The water is, you probably can't see it on camera, but that's like crystal clear water. But taking you on a little stroll through another old town, old school type town. This one is, the one I showed you a town, I think it was 2 days ago. I showed you a town that I said I think had about 20% occupancy. This is an old school town that I believe has about 80% occupancy. I don't know what the big difference is. Maybe the difference is the fact that this has a road that can fit a car. So life is much easier here. But it's still old school, off the grid, pretty much. There's no cameras here anywhere. So life here is, like old style. The people are still living it. Look at this place up on stilts here, it looks like. I don't think this area gets any flooding, but who knows? Here's a guy coming up on motorcycle. So I'm not going to have to worry so much about the spiders like I did. I showed you real off-the-grid living first, which was basically almost in a forest or like in a abandoned, like in an area where people were doing a bunch of farming. But see this area here, this is all occupied. These buildings are all occupied. It's pretty cool. Occupied, but old school, off the grid. Yeah, I believe most of these buildings are, there's people in them. And now there's they're setting up, they're getting coal brought in because winter's coming soon. They also heat with corn cobs, as I showed you on the thumbnail. If you saw the thumbnail, there's corn cob heating here as well. But it's mostly coal. One of these coal tractors is coming up behind me here. But, you live out here, nobody's gonna bother you. It's a different kind of lifestyle. That looks like that's like coal right there. Big bunch of coal from last year, maybe. Three-wheeler. Hey, ni hao. Let's take a look at this coal. This is what they're bringing the coal in on. These trucks. It's supposed to have a dump mechanism, because that guy just went in there about 5 minutes ago. So there's a bunch of corn cobs right there. Probably going to be used for heat. Personally, maybe I'm stupid, but I didn't know that people were using corn cobs for heat. So the little town that I showed you 2 days ago, basically, most of the buildings were, really totaled. Look at this electrical box. That's seen better days. Here's the community washroom. Okay, so this is the men's side. I don't know how much you can see here, but WC Nansoa. That's the boys' side. I don't know, I guess this is where they can clean it out from. And here's the girls' side. I doubt anybody's using this still, but I'm not going to go in there and check. So we're going to go take a little walk through here and see what some of these old school homes look like. You'd almost think the sun would be good for filming, but it's not actually. I notice it has some pretty bad effects. So here's a pile of coal right here. Ready for winter. I don't know how many times they'd have to bring in that kind of a load of coal. Maybe a few times a year. But that picture from the thumbnail, that's it from another area where I think mostly corn cobs are used, because they have these huge bins of corn cobs. Okay, obviously not all of China looks like this, but this is an old school area where people are decided they're staying for now. I'd say at least 80% of these homes are occupied, at least. Okay, here's a couple demolished, maybe one demolished home here, similar to the video from the other day. These homes are much bigger than they were in that area as well. But, I mean, maybe that's one reason also that people are still here. The buildings are much bigger. See, but you can get a car in here. So I think that's part of the reason why these are still occupied. This person could use a little cleanup there. Of course, you know, some of these people are probably pretty old. So I don't know if they can clean up themselves or... this guy's selling tires, looks like. He's got a whole garage full of tires. A bunch of coal. Small pile of coal. Oh, I might have to go back. Yeah, this is a dead end I've walked myself into. Go back to the other street. I can't remember exactly how long the streams, the last two streams I did, but try to walk a little faster, make this one shorter. Although now I'm doubling back on where I've just been. Doesn't help, does it? So there's somebody's old washroom for probably for this house, but I'm gonna say that's not in use. But it was at one point. That was the, you know, if you wanted to go to the bathroom, that's where you went. Demolished home, by the looks of it. We'll pass, I'm sure we'll pass a lot more that are not demolished and that are occupied. I just took the wrong street here. Hang on. Get us back to the road that's occupied. So like I said, this is, you know, not all of China looks like this. This is just one area, and I'm trying to show you kind of a progression there. You know, the first one was basically in nature, in a forest almost, but there was people living in there. The only way to get there would have been by motorcycle, walking, or perhaps some areas you could get to by three-wheeler. And then 2 days ago, I had another stream where I believe there was a path. Here's that pile of coal again. I took you on a walk through a town that was similar to this, I guess, except it wasn't very occupied. There was only about 20% people there. Where am I? Okay, so this one's kind of the opposite of that. It's old school. There's roads where you can get a car in here. There is electricity, and I think one of the big differences is just that you can get a car in here. But this is occupied. I'm not gonna shoot the camera over the fence there. It's invasion of privacy. But you can see these are occupied. There's a vehicle inside, nice and clean. That's obviously occupied. There's a guy right there. There's a three-wheeler. This is like real old school living. And I don't think it's a matter of them not having money. I mean, maybe some of them don't have much money. But that's theirs. Like, they got a garage, huge front entrance here. There's a pile of coal, which is seen in a lot of places, and there's some corn husks and whatnot. Three-wheeler through here. See, this is definitely occupied, 100% occupied. Yeah, we're taking a look at some old school type living, which I'm going to say for the most part, people want that. Even in the West, there's people that want to be off the grid, right? They don't want to be, bothered by government or whatever. So look at this. This whole fence is made up of doors. The whole fence is made of doors. That's kind of cool. Check that out. Occupied. People living there. Still more. Look, here's the fence continues, more doors. You can see that that's occupied. That looks like, I think it's potatoes. Of course, I don't know why you would dry out potatoes, but look at that building there. It's pretty cool, I think. They got themselves a greenhouse here, makeshift greenhouse. There's an awful lot of gardening in this kind of an area, right? Like, check that out, all the fruits and vegetables. Actually, that looks like all vegetables, but occupied. This is all occupied, old school living. I'm going to try to shoot down to the other street again. No. Yeah, this is old style. I think a lot of people prefer this. Check out that. I think it's almost big enough to get a car, and you can definitely get a three-wheeler in there. Of course, they have a car here. So that cement part might be the toilet. In some places, people are still using those, I think. It's very nice. Check this out. Is that cool or what? You can sit there in the shade that they basically built themselves, it looks like, or it's grown over. Very nice shady area. Really nice. Obviously occupied. I think I've seen, so far walking down the street, I've seen 2 homes that were demolished. The rest are 100% occupied. This is a different style living. It's the people that are here probably been here for years and years. You guys got a three-wheeler in there, so obviously that's occupied. Nice clean area there. Big entrance. Bunch of wood. Obviously occupied. I'd like to go over to the other street, I think. Might be homes on both sides. This street has almost no homes on the other side, so see if I can shoot down here. I'm not sure if I can get through here or not. This could be just their entrance that they use to get to their homes. There's a greenhouse. There's a shitload of greenhouses out there. See if I can get to the other street. There's got to be another street here. No, I don't think so. It's just greenhouses. Okay, so we'll walk back. Take a look. I've noticed that you could just about walk anywhere, and generally nobody gives you a hard time. Like, even though I think this path might be someone's private entrance to their home. Let's try and take a look. Looks like there's 4 people in the room here with me. Thanks for joining me on this little stroll through an old school town where people are still living the life of, I don't know, when would this would have been maybe 40, 50 years ago, 60 years ago that people kind of lived like this, even in the West. But yeah, these homes are all occupied. People are doing stuff in here to survive. I'm not sure if they have city water. This kind of a town would definitely not be on the city grid for heat. So the rest of the city, like this is outside of the city obviously, but inside the city, the entire city is plumbed for heat. Yeah, see, that's occupied. Very old school type living. Yeah, the whole city is plumbed with heat. And let's see, what is it? About 130 US dollars. It's 1,000 RMB a year to heat the whole, like, that's what each person pays, right? But you saw those apartment type buildings, right? This looks like I might be able to get to the next street. You saw those apartment type buildings that are just copycats. I think somebody spilled a bunch of coal here by the looks of it. But that's probably coal there underneath those tarps. Keep it dry. Yeah, in this area, the heating actually gets too hot. So I'm guessing that some people may be able to actually not even pay. Okay, this might be, these guys got a lot of doors here. But I don't think I can go down that. It looks like a dead end again. But yeah, I think you might, you know, let's say you're on the 3rd floor of a 7th floor building. They heat the hallways, so I think if you don't pay your heat, you probably get enough heat. That's their washroom there, the corner building. Or was their washroom, or is, maybe, I'm not sure. So yeah, you pay $1,000 and the heat is actually too hot. You have to open the windows. It's so hot. Okay, this one's, the entrance is from the other side, so it is occupied as well. Here's another, this is the 3rd abandoned building. 3rd one. So very cool old area. Pretty big homes actually. Several of the people have cars, but doesn't seem to be many. It's not a busy road here that I'm walking on, obviously. I'm trying to walk quickly to get out of here, make this a shorter stream than I'd made in the past. Somebody's garage. So these are obviously put up, since they had cars, right? So very nice looking old style, inside there. I can see a three-wheeler in there. Gardens. Somebody washing shoes by the looks of it. Growing corn. Yeah, I suppose it's somewhat of an invasion of privacy if you're filming people inside their property. So I should try to avoid that. Ooh, that guy's got a big dog. This one looks like it's unoccupied. Looks like it could be occupied, but it's a pretty decent looking place actually. But it's not occupied. I can tell because the weeds are overgrown on the pathway to the door. It's occupied and locked. How about this one? Anybody living here? Yeah. Yeah, there's people living there. No lock on it. Another abandoned building. Yeah. That's probably a pile of coal right there. I suppose anything can burn. Like, see, there's some wooden furniture over there. Probably anything that can burn will be gone this winter. So a few of these you can see look newer, like this one here looks newer. That looks like maybe some kind of storage. So it might be cold storage. There's some piles of coal again. A lot of these buildings are the old style, old school stuff. Like this here. This is somebody's property here, so I'm not going to go in there. So yeah, these are all occupied. My guess was 80%. I'm going to say higher. Probably more than 80% of these are still occupied by people that want to avoid the rat race. They don't want to be part of it. Another guy with tires. Apparently they're very popular. This guy's going to burn all this wood here this winter, but obviously occupied place. Occupied. Yeah, I thought 80%, but it has to be higher. Higher than 80%. This guy's got a garage, a deep garage. So I think this is like a garbage depot where you can just drop your garbage off here, and then I don't know if they pick it up daily. It's a really nice entrance there, right? Harvesting. Yeah. I think she probably lives right here. There's a car inside. But different lifestyle here, very quiet. There's probably very little goes to waste. Here's another abandoned building. Now, I don't know what they call those things right there, but normally it has a mirror on it and it's supposed to reflect bad luck. So you can see I'm getting, if I show you this shot here, I'm getting near to the town. So the stream will be over here soon, but this is a nice garden here. Okay, another abandoned building, so maybe my 80% wasn't so far off. I think it would be nice to live in this area. Um, I don't see any stores. So you'd probably have to go to town on your three-wheeler if you want to buy stuff. But it's a fair-sized little town here. Old school town. There's another street here. Yeah, I'm getting closer to being back. See, that's occupied. Very small, but occupied. I've got a Chinese flag there, but I think that's just the garage. Very cool. Okay, another abandoned building, smashed in. Across the street, occupied with a nice, beautiful fence, or doorway, or entrance. Old school living in China. And I don't think it's because they have to, it's because they want to. That's my guess. See, look, this is clean, spotless, the gate's open, somebody lives here. Nice and quiet. At night you hear the crickets chirping. They made roads for cars here, which obviously probably weren't here all the time, but there's a vehicle coming through. It's not much wider than would need be for getting a car through. It's kind of strange. The guy's got, oh, okay, the bricks are to hold the wood against the wall, which apparently the wall wants to fall down, so. Guy coming through. Now I can continue. Yeah, that building wasn't well built, but it seems like somebody's still living there. This one's not occupied, obviously. But see, this one is. This is occupied, but it's falling apart badly. They might not be here for too many more years. So, as I said, you know, I'm going to keep this a little shorter than, I think I'm still shorter than the other days where I did live streams. We're just walking through an old school type area. Look at this. It's awesome. Almost totally overgrown. Yeah. He laughed a little, but didn't say anything. This person has a severe green thumb, right? Awesome place. Of course, it looks like things grow pretty readily here anyway, but anyway, I'm coming to the town. We'll shut this down. I just wanted to show you that there's a different way of living, that not everybody in China is the same. I know some people try to paint China with a single brush, which you can't really do. I have no idea what this is. I'm guessing it might be something for heating, but I have no idea what those are. Recycling place here. But yeah, I just wanted to show you another area of China. There's different levels of, you know, being off the grid that people like. The area I showed you the other day would probably be almost all older people. Here, this area, might be people my age living in there where I showed you today. But anyway, I'm going to be out in the sun here in a second. Just want to say thank you to everybody that joined, and anyone that watches later. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. And I hope you found it interesting. So, thanks for watching.